Hi, my name is Magda and welcome to this week's episode of Psychology for Marketers. In today's video, I want to share with you a few tips on how to deal with critic and negative comments coming from other people. So this is something that happened to me not a long time ago. I was in the gym, and as you know, I used to dance, so a lot of my time in the gym is about stretching. So that particular morning, I was wearing shorts, so I just wanted to go into the corner and do my stretching there so I wouldn't draw too much attention from other people in the gym. So what I normally do is that I take my mat, I go to the stretching area, I put it there, and I do all of my stretching. And I did the same this morning. Now I started stretching, and then at one point, a man comes and he joins the area. He stands right next to me, and then he turns to me and says something about that if I put my mat differently, then there would be more space for other people. I looked around, the space was empty apart from the two of us, there was nobody. So I told him that, well, there is nobody else. And he started saying like, well, but if people wanted to come, then they wouldn't have space. And again, I said, there is all the space left. So I turned to him and I said, well, do you have enough space? Do you want me to move? He didn't reply anything. He started exercising. But in a few minutes, he turns to me and he makes a sarcastic comment about, oh, you're very nice, you're so polite. I was quite puzzled where all this was coming from, so I continue my stretching. But guess what? It doesn't end here. So when he was finally done, he was passing by me and he made another comment saying that I'm selfish and that the world doesn't revolve around me. Again, all I wanted to do was to do some stretching and there was still some space left. Again, that doesn't end here because a few minutes after I saw him leaving the gym, talking to the friend and again saying how rude I was for putting my stretching mat this way and not another way. Now, the reason why I'm sharing it is because this comment really upset me. I go to the gym because I love the feeling after you exercise. You feel happy, you have all the endorphins in your body, and you're ready for your day. And he totally ruined it for me. So of course, my natural reaction is that I wanted to snap at him. I wanted to say, hey, dude, what's your problem? Don't put your frustrations on me. But I didn't say anything. I gave myself a day, I calmed down, and I managed to look at it from a different perspective. Meaning, I came back to everything I know about human mind and human ego to really understand where that kind of behavior was coming from. So if you were ever in any similar situation like that, and I'm assuming you have because that happens quite often to us, then I want to share with you some ideas about how our mind is wired so that you can help understand where this behavior is coming from and eventually let go. So the first thing I want you to know is that it's really not about you. Anything that this person says or the way they behave, it comes from them. It's something they've been carrying in them for a long time. All you do is that you trigger it. So think about it. If somebody doesn't carry a lot of anger in them, they don't get angry very often. But if somebody has a lot of anger, then even a small thing will make them react in an angry way. And again, that has nothing to do with you. Second, very, very important thing to take note of is that usually when somebody pisses us off, when we get angry at somebody, it's because they point to something that we suppressed in ourselves. So let's say here's an example. Let's say you always wanted to be a yoga teacher, but you've been scared to pursue it and instead you stay at your 9-to-5 job, you have a corporate job and you feel safe. Now you meet somebody who didn't even bother starting to work for any company. Right away they went and they started teaching yoga. So when you meet this kind of a person, you clearly see that they are living your dream. That's gonna trigger an emotional reaction in you. Now you have two things that you could do in this moment because you're feeling all this frustration about seeing the person living the life you want. Well, you could either go and do it and become a yoga teacher. However, because that comes with so much fear about the uncertainty, you're going to turn to the next option, which unfortunately is not as positive or constructive, but it gets the job done. And this is to put the other person down. So you're going to be angry at them. You're going to tell them, oh, you know what, you know nothing about real life because you've never worked in real life. You've never worked for any company. So by putting this person down, you're making yourself feel better. And as I said, it's unfortunate, but we all do it. And I'm sure you have done it more than once. I definitely have. So be aware that if somebody starts snapping at you, likely it's because you're doing something that they always wanted to do themselves, but they're just too afraid of it. And lastly, the third thing I always like to remind myself is something I read in a book by Sonia Choquette called Trust Your Vibes. Sonia says, everybody at the core wants the same. We all want to feel loved. Some of us have simply a really bad way of asking for it. So whenever somebody is angry with you, whenever somebody makes a snappy comment or behaves like a total a-hole, it's because deep inside they feel insecure. They don't feel important. They don't feel that they matter. So they try to make a big scene. They become bitter because that's the only attention they know how to get. They don't know how to get love from other people, how to show love. So they twist emotions and they become very bitter and angry with you, but that's just how their mind is dealing with the lack of love in their lives. So if you look at these three ideas of how we work and why we react in this unpleasant way, it totally makes you understand and see people in a different light. So coming back to my example, once I gave myself time to let go and let my ego stop controlling me, and I looked at this man from this perspective, I actually felt sorry for him. Because look at it. A silly thing, such as me putting my yoga mat in one way and not the other, made him literally obsess about it for over 30 minutes. And I bet that he still thought of it after he left the gym. So I actually felt sorry for him because I realized that likely him thinking that I was selfish about doing such a small thing means that he is not putting himself as the center of his own life. And I really wish that he would come to me and talk about it because I would be very happy to give him some advice on how to do it. So next time that happens to you, give yourself a few minutes to just breathe deeply, look at these three reasons why people are likely to snap at you and how that has nothing to do with you. And maybe not only don't react aggressively back to them, but see if you can help them. Maybe just wish them a happy day and you'll see that that's going to cause a much bigger change in their behavior than fighting with them. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like it and share it with your friends. I know this is something we all struggle with, and it's something that tends to put us down and really turn our day so black and unpleasant. So please share with anybody who can benefit from this. And I also would love to hear from you. What are some of the situations that happened to you when somebody out of the blue was totally angry, negative, or a-holy on you? Please share it in the comment section below and tell us how you dealt with it. And remember, if you're not yet part of our community, do sign up on the side of this video simply by putting your name and email, because this way you'll be getting more videos like this. You will never miss anything. Plus, I have much more content for subscribers of our community that I only share with them. So if you want to unlock everything, make sure you join us. Thank you so much for watching. That was Magda K, and I'll see you next week.